Everyone's heard of the Great Wall and the Terracotta Warriors, but hardly anyone talks about this place.
This is magic!
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Wait, this is actually magic.
We're Kyle and Kerianne, and we're traveling across Asia for a year.
Hey.
What started as a quick detour in southern China turned into one of the best days of our trip.
If you have the chance to come on this cruise ship, you should do it.
Until we reached one spot that made Kyle completely rethink everything.
I hate this. I'm really not having fun.
Our journey to one of China's most beautiful landscapes started in Guilin. We'd planned to take a train to Yangshuo, but everything was sold out, so we booked a last-minute river cruise instead.
So we're super excited. We're taking a river cruise down the Li River, that's it? Lijiang. We're taking a river cruise down the Lijiang River.
Lijiang is Chinese for river.
We're taking a river cruise down the Lijiang.
I'm not sure if Jiang means river anymore.
Oh, okay.
Let me just jump in for a second before we confuse ourselves any further. The Li River winds about 80 kilometers through southern China's Karst Mountains, connecting Guilin and Yangshuo. It's one of the most scenic routes in the entire country, and our cruise package came with a bus ride to the dock.
Okay. Holy shit, we're off. Wow. He is not messing around with the timetable.
I like that.
And apparently, a bonus shopping experience. Our guide had a microphone, a captive audience, and the kind of confidence that doesn't need subtitles.
挥一下想象力，然后在我们行程10个女人9个西，我们先去得帮大家预定我们旅游大巴，还有商务，因为水太少了，游船都发不了。
Okay, so we've been on the bus now for like 30 minutes. I think it's a 45-minute bus ride. The whole time this lady has been giving informational content, and she's also been passing out snacks here and there. We've gotten a fish snack, a dried monk fruit snack. We've gotten sprayed with osmanthus perfume, and now we're getting some type of
Dried fruit.
yeah. Get two.
Oh no, we'll switch to chair. We'll get what we get. We don't get upset.
That's true. We don't get upset.
It was half transportation, half QVC, but by the end, we smelled great, had no idea what just happened, and somehow made it to the river. Now, when booking a Li River cruise, the first thing you'll notice is that the boats have star ratings, 3, 4, or 5 stars. But unlike hotel stars, these aren't just marketing fluff. They're officially assigned by the Guilin Tourism Bureau, which apparently takes boat luxury very seriously. The higher the stars, the fancier the boat, and the higher the price. And I'll let you guess which one we chose.
Cool, but glad we didn't pay for that. Scammed twice in one day. You don't need to pay $5. Another day, another lack of $1.
Comment below which star rating you choose. But honestly, 3 stars was more than comfortable. We had indoor seating, a rooftop deck, and even a snack bar.
And you have the option to purchase food at, I think, an exorbitant cost.
Yeah, the options were dry salted fish, fried whole shrimp, snails, which we've already had.
We've experienced the snails. I'm not gonna like this.
Oh God, is it really chewy?
Yeah.
And taro root, which is probably the best option.
Yeah.
And while we did experience some light boat envy later on,
4 stars confirmed.
Wow. 4 stars.
Premium.
our boat did the job. And before we knew it, we were off, gliding into some of the most famous scenery in all of China.
It's getting sick.
Before we show you all the pretty scenery, if you could hit like and subscribe, pretty please. It helps way more than you think. Okay, back to the video. In a matter of minutes, we were coming across Asian water buffalo.
There's a little water buffalo over there. Oh, they're kind of tiny.
Yeah, like donkey-sized.
Yeah.
And the iconic river rafts.
So there's also an option to take those little bamboo rafts down the river. Kyle said no this time, but maybe on the way back. No. Maybe upriver. I think it takes significantly longer than taking one of these ferries.
Yeah, they were pretty good though.
Turns out, I was wrong about almost all of that. These rafts aren't bamboo at all. They're actually made of PVC, designed to look like bamboo. The tradition itself started back in the 80s and 90s, when local farmers began giving tourist rides using their fishing rafts. Today, running these tourist rafts has replaced farming entirely for many families. Unfortunately for me, and fortunately for Kyle, you can't take them all the way to Yangshuo. They're meant for short scenic rides that last about an hour.
I think it's so cool.
It was cool.
Next time, maybe.
Maybe.
but undoubtedly, the coolest part about this place is the geography.
Okay, so this is the Karst mountain range, and Guilin is like the capital of the Karst mountain range. I think the formation was approximately 200 million years old, and at one point, India was moving towards the continent of Asia, and India essentially crashed into Asia, and that's what formed the Himalayas.
His mic cut out, so let me hop in for a sec. And then that ripple of energy transmitted into this area in southern China and formed all these small peaks amongst the limestone. And over time, the limestone has eroded and those peaks are left over.
Super cool. Super cool.
So with views this good, the real attraction wasn't the scenery, it was the unspoken battle for the best railing spot. And when it started to rain, we saw it as an opportunity to stake our claim and take in the view.
We made it to the front of the railing.
Yep.
Because it's raining.
It's crazy. It's beautiful.
I was gonna say, do you think this is like one of the most magical places you've ever been in your whole life?
Yes.
I think it is for sure.
This is some of the most unique landscape I've ever seen in my life.
It is so cool.
But seeing as we were approaching the most scenic parts of the route, the alone time didn't last long. In China, personal space works a little differently. It's less about keeping distance and more about moving together so everyone flows until the space is full. We decided to just lean into it. And made a few new friends along the way.
有个小洞叫肚脐岩，肚脐岩的右方有首民谣雪房，看嘛。
Which came in handy when it was time for the main event, the stretch of the Li River that made it onto China's 20 yuan note. And like everyone else, we weren't leaving without the photo.
This is the most critical part of the entire river journey, is to get a picture while you're holding the 20 RMB note with the background on the note. And I keep like trying to compare the scenery to make sure that we don't miss it, because it's gonna go by fast, okay? And this is important, very important.
But with hundreds of identical mountains, figuring out which one was on the money turned into a group project.
Is this it?
Guys, this is it? Wait, give me on camera. Are we here? I don't know. Is this it? This one? There's好，谢谢。All right, we got some local help. We're on the back side of it. We gotta flip around.
Okay.
And we weren't the only ones having trouble.
Look, they're snapping pictures. Is this it?
The people up here aren't snapping pictures.
That's because they don't have this cash. Guys, does this look like it? I don't know. Read it.
Hi.
Yeah.
Ni hao. This is stressful.
Is that this? You think so? But where's...
多游客。
Now, Kyle knows about 6 words of Chinese, but one of them is zhuge. And today, it was doing some serious heavy lifting.
远处有3座相连的山峰，就好像是一只缩着脖子大骆驼。
What do you guys think?
这一景也取名为陆船的右边啊。据说桂林这一带一共有3只来自戈壁大沙漠的骆驼，有首民谣赞道：桂林骆驼地上卧。 阳朔骆驼，
Everyone thinks they know their scene. I don't think anyone actually does.
远游沙漠之中。
But no one's got cash because everyone uses Alipay, so I'm like the only person here with money. I don't think that's it. Everyone's like pointing to me, telling me that like they think they're seeing it, but I don't think they are. I think it's this.
Luckily, Kyle's crowdsourced strategy worked.
Oh, maybe that isn't it. We have to get further this
多
way.
游客啊，相信大家来游历。
And we finally got the shot.
This place is so cool.
It's so cool.
If you have the chance to come on this cruise ship, you should do it. Just get the cheapest thing that you can and just be here.
Yeah,
And
just go upstairs.
yeah. Don't pay for the extra because you don't even sit in your seat the whole time. You're like standing on the observation deck.
And after that magical journey, 5.5 hours later, we landed in Yangshuo.
Bye, boat.
Well, kind of. We thought we'd be docking right in downtown Yangshuo, but because the Li River's depth changes dramatically with the seasons,
Wow, look at how shallow it is right there.
Wow, it's really shallow right there.
our boat had to stop way outside of town, which marked the beginning of Kyle's short but passionate meltdown, caught entirely on camera.
We need to walk a kilometer on this with the bag. A kilometer.
But hey, travel isn't always fun. And one very short taxi ride later,
And we basically did a big circle and ended up like a 2-minute walk from where we started because the location on Didi was so messed up. We just basically paid to go down there.
It's okay. It was $1.
Stop being so positive.
we found ourselves walking in circles, trying to find our hotel.
The maps here are really bad. It's like telling us to go straight, but literally can't go straight because there's a wall right there.
Is there anything you'd like to say to defend yourself?
Nope.
Luckily, we ran into another group that was just as lost as we were, so we joined forces.
Oh. There's an alley. Did you go?
And after a couple of twists, a couple of turns, and at least one complete circle,
It's crazy. At least we have friends.
Yeah.
eventually we made it to the hotel. And luckily, it had something that completely turned the night around.
Wait, we found the best part of our hotel.
It's the view.
This is cool.
I'm not mad anymore.
Okay.
I try to get out of my system, you know?
I understand.
I'm very appreciative. This is gorgeous.
Yeah. This is magic.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Wait, this is actually magic.
This is like a honeymoon worthy.
Yeah.
Actual honeymoon worthy.
Wow. This is so insane. It doesn't look real.
This is crazy.
This is crazy. This is cool.
What a magical place.
It's so cool. Good morning.
Hey.
It's us from Yangshuo. We woke up this morning to go see the sunrise. Had a beautiful morning. Missed the sunrise a little bit,
Missed the sunrise.
but it was still lovely and quiet and serene. And then we made our way into Yangshuo to try and get some breakfast.
Into the West Street area.
But this place is a little bit dead in the morning.
Super dead.
We were a bit surprised because the night before, Yangshuo felt wild. There was packed restaurants, musical performances, and this giant panda we kept running into. So the next morning, when we stepped outside to explore, it felt eerie, like someone had unplugged the town overnight.
But it's interesting how this place is wild at night and then just straight dead in the morning.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
Yangshuo's economy runs almost entirely on tourism. It feels dead in the morning because day trippers arrive later, and a lot of shops here open late after busy nights, so the streets don't wake up till mid-morning. But it's not just a nightlife town, it's an adventure hub. People come here to climb limestone cliffs, bike through rice fields, and float down rivers. And while we might not be thrill seekers, we did have one slightly terrifying activity on our itinerary. We'd heard about Ruyi Peak, but didn't know exactly what to expect. Just that it promised one of the best views in Yangshuo, and the only way up to the park is via cableway that spans almost a mile through the sky.
The span between the peaks is crazy. You feeling scared?
I'm a little scared. Well, you know what? It wore off after the first couple minutes.
Yeah, I'm honestly way more nervous for the glass bridge situation.
Uh-oh.
The park opened in 2020 as a part of Yangshuo's push to boost tourism, combining the area's famous karst peaks with a handful of high-altitude attractions.
And tickets for us, I think, were $29 each. So it's an expensive activity here in China. But
Yeah, that's premium.
it looks sick online, so we decided it was worth it.
There's a car full of kids screaming that just went past us.
Yeah, I can relate.
And when we arrived, we were immediately greeted by a group of school kids who were way more excited to see us than any glass bridge.
That was the cutest thing in the entire
You're just assaulted by 50 Chinese children.
They're so cute. They're definitely here on a school trip.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys. Hello. Like 3 came up and said hi to us, and then about 14 came up, and then another 20 followed that.
Yeah.
You're beautiful.
Oh, so are you. It's so nice to meet you guys.
Everyone.
Where are you from?
America.
美国人.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they're so sweet. It's like a thing where they keep giving us their snacks. Just to I don't know, it's like a courtesy thing.
I think they're just trying to share and connect.
Yeah.
Without language.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so kind.
That's sweet.
And everyone started pulling snacks out of their backpacks
Yeah.
to give to us, and we were like, no,
We had to
no,
start-
no. We had to say no. Keep
Yeah.
your snacks. And I hope that wasn't rude, but they should keep their snacks. We can't eat all those.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
This wasn't the first time that kids had offered us snacks during our trip through China. And according to our good friend Chat, sharing food here is seen as an act of kindness and connection, which is so sweet, I will cry if I talk about it for too long. And since we were fueled up on snacks thanks to our new friends,
Thank you. Bye-bye.
we were ready to explore everything Ruyi Sky Park had to offer.
It looks like a big a big walk through the jungle, essentially.
Yeah, this is cool.
Eventually, we made it to our first stop, the suspension bridge. You've probably noticed that it's covered in red ribbons. These are called wish ribbons, a Chinese tradition where people write down a hope or blessing, then tie it up as an offering. Red symbolizes luck and joy, and once it's tied, fate or the spirits are said to take it from there. At a lot of tourist spots, you'll see pre-printed ribbons with common wishes. Things like love, health, or wealth. Comment below which one you would pick. But we had a strategy going into ours.
But I think Kyle and I should just not use Google Translate at all and go and pick one out that we're drawn to, and then we're gonna put it on the bridge and we'll translate it later to see what our fortune is. So it's kind of like a fun surprise. Like, it finds us.
We found it.
We found it, it found us. And we don't know the meaning.
But the woman selling the ribbons spoke a lot more English than we anticipated.
Do you feel called to any of these?
No,
Do you feel like we should do money? We already have love.
we have an abundance of love.
And we need an abundance of money.
Yeah.
And honestly, good thing she did.
We'll do this one.
Lady.
Oh, don't get that one.
Is this money? Yeah, that one.
Baby.
With our carefully selected wish ribbon in hand, we added our names and set off to tie it to the bridge. That's when it became clear Kyle's fear of heights was a lot more real than I thought.
They're also playing the Titanic soundtrack, which is making me feel nervous. It's squiggling, I'm scared.
It's a little scary, but it's more secure than I thought it was gonna be.
So we quickly picked a spot for our wish ribbon
We're doing dead center, baby. That's where the most luck is.
That's probably true.
and tied it as fast as we could so we could get Kyle back on solid ground.
We have the slightest breeze now, and it's definitely feeling kind of scary. Did it!
Yay! That was fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
And while we kept climbing higher, it was hard to ignore how pretty the view was, and how the landscape started to look less like real life and more like Dr. Seuss built it.
I keep saying that everywhere looks like Whoville, because the mountains, they look like they should be in the movie Whoville. The movie The Grinch, right?
Yeah.
The Grinch, and they live in Whoville. The Who's live in Whoville.
And before we knew it, we'd made it to the top,
We're approaching the peak.
which offers crazy 360-degree views.
The amount of peaks is crazy.
It's wild.
There must be like 1,000.
But beyond the views, the peak offers something even more memorable, a full-blown cinematic experience, courtesy of a guy with a drone.
Do we need that?
I don't know.
How much would you pay?
I mean, that's priceless, so I can't actually afford it.
It took a bit of persuasion,
My convincing might have worked.
What?
I said my convincing might have worked.
This is what happens when you have a wife.
but I left that mountain with my very own drone video.
Okay, so was that the best 98 kuai you ever spent in your whole life?
I gotta say, the choreography was next level.
It was sick.
It was sick.
We're gonna put the full video at the end of this vlog.
Yeah. It was wacky.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I loved it.
And unfortunately for Kyle, while spending frivolous money is one of his worst fears, the real fear was still ahead, the glass bridges. On the plus side, they do provide you with foot covers, mostly to protect the glass, but also to keep you looking stylish.
Check out my sick footwear. It's required to be out here.
I thought maybe you'd have thoughts about how you're feeling. Is it scary? Is it high?
But it seems fine. I'm not too scared, but it's supposed to get steeper over there.
My legs are shaking.
And while this was a fun introduction to glass bridges, turns out they were just warming us up.
Wait, we just found out. There's another scary section. The glass plank road. And I think that's scarier than what we just did.
For sure.
Okay, that means we need more slippers. Safe and solid, it says.
It has a whole sentence. Safe and solid. That's like making me more nervous. Why would you say it like that?
So with our slippers back on, we set out to test if it really was as safe and solid as they say.
Oh my god. I hate this. I'm really not having fun.
Not at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm motivated to get the out of here.
Okay.
Ooh.
We're walking, we're moving, we're walking. The views are beautiful.
Holy
Do you want to hold hands or no?
I'm having zero fun.
See, this one's definitely scarier. You're just on a cliffside.
At this point, Kyle entered what I can only describe as his fight or flight mode, and he chose flight.
Oh, they're getting on me.
Pick up your speed, brother.
I'm now sprinting. I feel like I'm being chased. Like my gait feels like a robot.
You look like a robot.
I feel like one. It's not fun.
It is kind of fun.
Sorry.
Causing a scene.
I am causing problems.
Somewhere between the terror and the teamwork, we actually made it across. And while Kyle was still recovering from the trauma, I found something that captured the moment perfectly.
But the good news is, for 10 kuai, which is a little over $1, I got this sick keychain of Kyle. And if you really zoom into it, you can see that his eyes are bulging. It's hilarious. I had a great time. Did you like it?
I'm glad we came. It was a great experience, but I was experiencing fear. I was either sweating, which is a constant.
Yeah.
Or I was in a relatively high amount of fear.
And here it is, the Ruyi Sky Park drone video, with a few editing enhancements for your viewing pleasure.